Welcome to Auntie Chats and Tarot. Welcome in. Let's get to your message here, collective. I'm using a couple of different decks here. Thank you to all of you who have supported this channel. I really appreciate it. Let's get into this. Remember, not everything will resonate. Take what does, leave the rest. It might be a sentence here or there that helps you, but take what helps you to help yourself and leave the rest. Here we go. Here we go. Abundance. Something about abundance, but you're not seeing it. You think you haven't figured it out. Like there's something about I'm not smart enough here. Ten of Wands in the reverse. Are you coming out of not thinking you're smart enough to put something together? Yeah. Eight of Cups, Six of Pentacles. Walking away from this attitude. Yeah. It's a Six of Pentacles in reverse. Some sort of stingy energy around you. Doesn't want to be found out. King of Swords and the Moon in the reverse is being found out. You're putting it together. This is your intellect. Never, ever, ever question it. The Fool. Yeah, you're leaping in another direction. Yeah, because of your intuition. Okay? I don't see anything wrong here with your intellect. I see you're very bright. Extremely bright. Never question it, I hear. And on top of that, great intuition on others. Or maybe this was somebody else telling you this. You're not bright enough to figure this out. Well, you did. And you're bright enough. And you've always been bright enough. You've always been extremely bright. Ace of Pentacles. You've had a lot of new beginnings. Yeah, you're perfectly capable. The Chariot in the reverse. For some reason, the energy slows up. The Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, you reject when the energy is slowed up here. Yeah. You're going on a little adventure. A new beginning. You're used to new beginnings. This is how your life goes. You're familiar with this routine. Six of Cups, Knight of Swords. You're comfortable with that routine. It's just different. It's just the way you were made up. It's just your makeup. It's just how your life unfolds. You never look back. You just start on the next new thing. Wow. And you're bold. Bold adventure. Yeah, and you're brave. And intelligent like no other. You think differently. Maybe in school, when it was cookie cutter ways to learn, you were told that you weren't smart or something like that. You learn and you understand differently, but you are way ahead of the curve intellectually. Knight of Pentacles, and somebody needs to hear that. Yeah, you were kind of considered slow on how you picked things up, but people didn't realize that they were the slow ones. You were way ahead of them with your intellect / intuition. Yeah, somebody very intuitive here. You could read cards yourself. Strength, that is your strength. You get the downloads on people and situations, and you're way ahead of what's happening. In fact, you will know what's going to happen. Here comes the Sun. This is your happiness. Yeah. The flow of just embracing your uniqueness here. Not everybody can do this. You've come to terms with this, or you're really leaning into your third eye here. Yeah, this is part of your happiness. It's just different than others. Being okay, being different. Walking away from the cookie cutter. Okay? The boring cookie cutter. Walking away. Judgment. A lot of judgment has been placed on you. You're a hard one to figure, and even maybe have been villainized. Like, are you angel or are you toxic? You know, maybe you've heard both. Let's see. What's that about, Spirit? Eyes on you. Eyes on your shoulder. I don't know what that means. Wheel of Fortune. People sense a little of both. Some toxicity there and some angelic energy. I feel like there is both there coming from you. You would say that's true. Why are we hearing this, Spirit? This is something you provide others, the good and the bad. And they're like, how can you know this? How can you know about my situation so much? You just do. How do you know how I'm going to react? How do you know this is going to come about? How do you know how I am? How do you know things nobody can figure out how you know? It's your intuition. It's your good skills too, as far as a lot of your spiritual talents here. Four of Cups in the reverse. You see it all. You really, truly can see it all. But I feel like Spirit is saying, be discerning here who you share this with, because you could freak out others, okay? And I think that has happened, and that's why you get the bad rap on the toxicity, because you're the angel and the devil, you know. When really I feel like you're trying to bring happiness, but also warn people about situations they need to get out of. Page of Cups, yeah, but the innocence here, and you've had this since you were a child, and mermaid energy here you feel quite close with as well, and water, you're always more in tune with these gifts near water. Abundance, fish energy, wow, whoa, power in your hair, don't forget that. There's always power in the hair, as I say frequently on this channel. What's the reason for the read here, Spirit? More specifically, please. Five of Pentacles, lack. If anybody's made you to feel lack, or, remember yourself. Or this is, I think you help people who are at their wits' end, having trouble, trying to figure things out. That you already see, you already know the way out, you already know the advice, you already know what's gone on with them. Yeah, again, a lot of spiritual energy here. You are very talented. Ten of Cups and the Star. This is your happiness, I think, is to help others and to use these skills that you have, these remarkable skills that you have. Anybody making you feel less than, which is the energy we started out with, is afraid. They're afraid of your skills. They want to question them because they can't be questioned. They just are, okay? Some things don't make sense in life. And some people are more comfortable with that than others. But the people that are going after you to make you feel a certain way that's in a negative light, it's their fear. The Tower is here. What's the Tower, Spirit? I think you come in and you can really change a person's life. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse and the Queen of Wands. And because of this, you are always going to be very well thought of by your spirit team and by others, and seen in a beautiful light. Yes, people may be like, yeah, sometimes they see the devil, sometimes they see the angel. But I think it's not the devil energy so much as the strength to handle toxic situations or help others handle them that's viewed a certain way that's inaccurate. But yeah, you will know that you will never be alone. You will never be alone because of what you provide others and because of how you stick your neck out for others. Seven of Pentacles. So always be replenishing yourself. Always be investing in yourself so that you are available to others. Because remember, we put the mask on first before helping others, before assisting others. Yeah, and I feel like some of you who want to be surrounded by others, you don't want to be on your own. Yeah, that's a confirmation. I mentioned that. You're never on You're never on your own. You're never alone. Because maybe you feel like, does anybody else have these types of situations or these types of skills? You're never alone in that regard. The Hierophant, lean into your spirit team. Where's my tribe? I feel like you found your tribe. Or you know that other people have these skills. Yeah. A lot of this is grounding and finding your way, in that you are not persuaded or, know thyself is very strong here, and not being tempted by things that would take you off course. Yeah, I feel like if that has been your story growing up, it's no longer your story. You really embrace who you are and you know thyself. 8 of Swords. Because you know these temptations are a waste of time, take you off course, hold you back. Yeah. You can see it in others and you can help them, but I feel like you are not subject to that kind of energy anymore. You're very clear on self and purpose. Ace of Cups in the reverse and the 3 of Cups. This could also be kind of, for you, sometimes you feel kind of lonely. And Spirit again reminds you that you are never alone. But I feel like sometimes you feel a certain type of not connecting deeply with others. You have to keep it surface. Spirit's saying here in the cards, a lot of people can't do what you can do. A lot of people are not capable of the deep emotions that you can sense, deal with, talk on, okay? But I feel like there are a few people that you can do that with. And then Spirit's saying, yeah, come to terms with those really good relationships. Do you need 700 friends? Are they really friends? Do you just need 1 or 2? Something like that. To ask yourself, 7 of Cups. But this has been a topic that has been of concern to you. The lack of so many friends or people that you can relate to, and vice versa. Queen of Swords. Until you have probably come to a point where you're, saying, I cut out what doesn't serve me. And that is a need that maybe you had a while ago to have so many friends. And sometimes it flutters back into your mind, but I think you're coming to terms with that and getting more comfortable with, if I have 1 or 2 diehard friends, that's all that's necessary. I am comfortable with that. Knight of Cups here. And I give that my whole heart. Yeah. Remember, you can't give your whole heart to just anybody, okay? Because there's an imbalance there. The Temperance in the reverse. Let's change the deck. I think you're also very young still. By that I mean still young and dealing with this in your skills. 10 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles keeps you very busy. It is your, you do know your place. You're happy with knowing your place and happy with this path of yours. Yeah, this astrological path of some sort. 6 of Wands, Queen of Cups, helping others. Very happy with that. There's a lot of success here for you. Very intuitive, extremely intuitive. I'm talking to a healer for sure. Page of Cups. Once you embrace this, things just fell into place. You are capable of doing so much, and you have done so much for others. People that were doubters became seers around you and what you were able to do for them. Became true believers. And we end again with this King of Swords, which is incredible intellect here and ability to speak so well. The Lovers, helping people, because it's in the reverse, this is helping people that have a lot of burdens, 10 of Swords, and a lot of endings that they can't deal with, a lot of imbalance, okay? cards start to repeat now. Never doubt yourself. Never doubt yourself. 3 of Cups in the reverse. Never misunderstand yourself because somebody doesn't understand you. Don't take that on. You know, as you have to go further to prove something. I feel like Spirit's saying, yeah, no. Come at people with your cup of love and that's it. You know, help them as you do. And that's it. The other part of their belief system and what they allow in, that's their responsibility. Beautiful energy. Yeah. Stay wild. Stay free with this. Don't get too bogged down in other people's opinions of your great gifts here. Yeah, I see you're just magnanimous and make things happen and just beautiful energy. And people that are insecure or, you know, they struggle with self-confidence issues, they won't understand this. And then, you know, there is some sort of threatening energy you may receive there. But just keep healing and staying your vibrant, positive self. Always meet the negative with positive here. People will come around or they won't. But again, that's on them. Yeah. Speak your truth. Never bog yourself down with arguments. That's just low vibration. That is not you. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, people will speak. They'll speak highly of you. They'll speak negatively of you. And that's just a part of all of our journeys, is to realize that, but not let it affect us, okay? Everybody's going to always be dealing with that. Yeah, wishes granted here. I feel like this is a path that you would have chosen for yourself, and then now you're on it. And as such, it moves quickly because you are so effective and also so joyful for the ride. And again, I can't say enough. The intellect here and the intuition you have, that is your justice, I hear, and also that's your highlight. That's your superpower. What do we have in the way of in the way of a charm? We've got the fish. It does say Jesus here. Leaning into your spirit team for your abundance here. Leaning into the higher power that you co-create with for your abundance. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful read. Let me just split the deck on another. What do we got? King of Pentacles. You're very successful on this path and adored by a higher power, your higher power. Obedience causes harmony and peace, calms anger in anyone. Yeah, that's your staying positive if met with somebody who wants to be low vibrational and, argue with you about this. You are a gift, and your gifts can benefit others. And if they don't want to believe, that's on them. And if they don't want the healing, that's also something they come to terms with, but out of your hands, okay? That's your message. Please do like, share, subscribe, comment. Love to read the comments. It helps the channel to grow. Please do also utilize the link for Buy Me a Coffee. Would love to receive a coffee from you. And until next time, let's remember who we are and let's remember our self-worth. Thanks for joining me.